reading. Thank you for joining me. Today's reading is the person on your mind. What assumptions have they made about you, whether this is a platonic connection or a romantic connection? But please use your discernment, okay, for the messages that come out, because I know that they aren't necessarily for everyone, But we do have 3 groups for you to choose from. We have group 1, group 2, and group 3. If you do want to pause the video, feel free. But I shall see you all in your readings. Hi, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen group 1, the more circular quartz, then this reading is for you. The person on your mind, what assumptions have they made about you? Okay, so we have the 6 of Wands in reverse, and we also have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So this person has made the assumption that you can be arrogant at times, perhaps due to, the people who've hurt you. They feel like maybe you wear this as a front. They've also made the assumption that you don't care about yourself. For some of you, this is because in their perspective, you can seem emotionally closed off. For others, this is about something else I can't clarify. For some of you, they assume this because you're busy, being there for someone else or doting on someone else in your life. So maybe they feel like you don't really have the time or energy to care for yourself because you are so focused on this other person. For some of you, they feel this way because of self-worth issues. They assume that you want more attention or recognition for the work that you do. This feels like it's related to your love life as well. So they could feel like you want a lot of attention, in regards to your love life. Page of Cups, 2 of Cups. For some of you, this could be more so about the work that you do. They've also made the assumption that you think that they've failed you. They don't feel like they have failed you though. They made the assumption as well that you only think of yourself. They believe this because either you didn't or you don't prioritize them. They assume that you don't recognize their contributions, and they do think that you have disappointed them or let them down somehow. The assumption is, though, that you don't really care, or it seems like you don't really care in this person's perspective. So this person also assumes that you won't get lucky or be successful with them. They feel like you won't get the outcome that you want from them. For some of you here, depending on who you're asking about, but they could feel like, they could think that you want them to chase you. Does that make sense? They think that you want them to chase you. So for some of you, they could feel like you won't get the outcome that you want. But for others of you, this is about something else as well. It's like for some of you as well, if you're trying to get this person back, whether this be reconciliation or whether this be some type of revenge, they feel like you won't be able to do that. Like they'll think you'll lose in that regard, but only take that if it makes sense to your situation. So this person also assumes that you've tried to tarnish or ruin their reputation. but they also assume that you think they're doing the same to you or that they did the same to you, but please only take that if it makes sense. So they also assume that you're insecure. They feel like this is about something specific, like I don't know, insecure about your legs or something like that, or insecure about what? This doesn't feel like insecure in general. So whatever it is talking about, it is related to something specific and not really in general. So they assume that you don't make a good leader, but for some of you, this actually feels like it's more so about the past, and not really about the present or the future. They assume or they feel like you weren't a good leader in the past. This could be to someone else in your life, not necessarily about them. So they also believe that you could have bad intentions for others, not necessarily them though. They assume that you can be immature. This is more so referring to emotional immaturity rather than anything else. They do believe you are or can be insensitive. Again, this feels like it's in general. And they also assume that you're quite fragile, emotionally or physically. They could assume that you're vulnerable. For some of you, this feels like more so a hope that they have as opposed to something that they, feel concretely, if that makes sense. They believe that you are or can be needy as well. They feel like you don't or that you won't hear them out, or they assume that you won't hear them out. And they feel like you won't hear them out because in their perspective you're too wrapped up in your own wants and needs, and they do assume that you're a bit scattered as well. They really feel like you have very little empathy for them, and they also assume that you're deeply unhappy, maybe not in general but in regards to a specific area of your life, or with them even. They also feel that you're very feminine. They feel like they can't say anything to you because you're too sensitive, in their opinion. And they also assume that you may suffocate them if they were to see you. Or if they were to be back in your life in some way, in a significant way. So they also assume that you're not independent. So for some of you here, they also assume that you would be very harsh to them if they were to see you. or if they were to try to move forward with you in some way. Do you have more from these cards? So we have modest. So yeah, for some of you, that could be an assumption they have about you. We also have outspoken. So they feel like you are outspoken or that you would be outspoken. Yeah, they do assume that you're outspoken. We have particular. So they also assume that you're quite particular, maybe quite controlling. Like they could feel like you like things or want things in a particular way. Do you have more from that? Yeah, they could assume that you're maybe a bit picky. We have obedient. I can't really clarify this card, but for some of you here, they could assume that you are obedient. It feels like it's a bit more than that, but please only take that one if it makes sense. And we also have imaginative. This doesn't really feel like an assumption on their part, but they do assume that you're imaginative. Maybe they feel like you're using your creativity right now, or your imagination at this moment, but it feels like it's something that they already know about you. But yeah, maybe the assumption is that you're, utilizing it right now. So we have heightened intuition. So they also assume that you have great intuition. For some of you here, they could assume actually that you can read their mind. Or you can just read them very well. We also have balancing masculine and feminine energies. So this person assumes you're quite feminine, but they do feel like you have... One second. Yeah, they do feel like you have a balance between your masculine and feminine energy. They also assume that you are balancing out more. So we also have free will, get out of your cocoon. So they assume that you're using your free will a bit more. If any of you kind of limited yourself in the past, they feel like you're kind of out of that energy, or you're getting out of that energy. They definitely feel like you are getting out of your cocoon, or they assume that you're getting out of your cocoon. And finally, we have love what you do and do what you love. So this person could assume that you have a new job, depending on who this person is to you. But for others of you, they could assume that you really love your job, and that your job is your purpose. But that is all I have. For those of you who chose this group, I hope it could resonate, make sense, be helpful, but I'm wishing you the best, okay? Take care. Hi, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen the Rose Quartz, the second group, then this reading is for you. the person on your mind. What assumptions have they made about you? What assumptions do they have? Okay, let's see. We have the Three of Cups and we have the Ace of Pentacles, both in the upright. Okay, so this person has made the assumption that you are really social and that a lot of people like you. Maybe you're more social than you were. They believe that you like to party, that you like to drink, maybe smoke, and just kind of turn up. They feel like you just like good vibes and that you are good vibes and that you like good company and good liquor. You know, they feel like you have, wait, hold on. Yeah, they just kind of assume that you have really good energy or that you're in better spirits these days. They also assume that hanging out with you or being your friend or in a relationship with you would be nothing but good vibes and good times. They want to reconnect with you as well, this person. They assume that you feel the same and they assume that you are attached to your single life, maybe attached to your freedom. Even if you're not single, like they feel like you can still have that single kind of vibe or energy about you. But they do think you're very beautiful. So they definitely assume that you're very desirable to other people as well. This person does assume that you can overindulge in the good stuff or that you do overindulge in the good stuff. They just feel like you're enjoying yourself, you know, enjoying your life with or without them. They also assume that you've had this fresh start and that you've kind of moved on from them for some of you. For others, this could be about moving on from something specific that maybe had happened between the two of you. But they assume that you're celebrating, whether this is a birthday or an achievement, you know, something like that, or you're just kind of living it up right now. They almost feel like you've had this happy ending in your life, you know. Another thing they assume about you is that you really love your friends and that you're really good to them and that they're really good to you too. So they could assume that you have great friendships. They also assume that you're very well off and successful in their eyes. For some of you, this is more so that they feel like you've been doing better since their departure. Honestly, it feels like this person sees you as a treasure. They see you as a gift. And if this rings true, for some of you, they also assume that you have a gift, you know, a gift from God. And for some of you, this is a psychic gift. For others, it's creative or intellectual. But I do have to say, this message feels more so for those of you who resonate with having a psychic gift. It feels like this person assumes that you have this psychic gift. They also assume that you have a lot of support in your life. They believe that you can help them out financially. They also assume that you've gotten another job, maybe alongside your old job. Maybe they feel like this is what you're celebrating as well for some of you guys. So this person really does assume that you're feeling secure in your life right now. They really do assume that you're wealthy. They assume that you think negatively of them, though. Sorry, one moment. So please take that message, them assuming you think negatively of them. If a Five of Cups type of situation has happened between you both, you know, something emotional, like an emotional loss. Especially if there was a very clear ending between the two of you, or separation, no contact. And because of this, they could feel like you think negatively of them. But other than that, they really do believe that you're great with money, making it, saving it, investing it. They also assume that you're very down to earth and humble. They have the assumption that you are honest or you're just living a very honest life. They also believe that you're very lucky and that you're very blessed as well. What assumptions have they made about you? We have solemn. So for some of you, they've felt like you were in this solemn energy in the past with this Eight of Cups. Yeah, they felt like you were very emotional in the past, but now they assume that you're in a much better energy. We also have neat. So this person assumes that you're very cleanly. And there's also something about perfectionism. For others of you, this is not really perfectionism. But imagine like you're kind of, I don't know, I don't know how to put this into words. But I'm hearing like tying something off with a bow, you know? Like you packaged away something neatly. I don't know what this is talking about, but please only take that if it makes sense. So we also have independent. Yeah, so this person assumes that you're independent, or they just assume that you're enjoying your independence. We also have gentle. So this person also assumes that you're very gentle, very caring. They also have the assumption, actually, that you think they are independent. We also have opportunistic. So this person assumes that you're definitely making the most out of your opportunities. We also have bless your heart, reach out for emotional and spiritual support to help heal and mend your heart. So for some of you, they do assume that they can reach out to you for emotional support, maybe support in other ways. For some of you, it could be financial support. So they assume that they should reach out to you, actually. They feel like you can help heal them or that you can help fix something in their life. We also have healthy communication in relationships. So this person definitely assumes that if they approach you and if they communicate with you in a healthy way, that things can get back on track with you. Or that you would at least hear them out. 10 of Wands, they could want you to take on some of their burdens, take on some of their problems. This feels like they want you to hear them out, but it feels like they want for you to do more than just hear them out as well. Do you have more from this? We also have surrender with joy, achieve greatness through surrender. So this person, they really assume like in the past there was a heavy situation, emotional situation, but they feel like whatever it is that you have surrendered, They feel like you found joy. They feel like you found success through surrendering, and they feel like you've achieved greatness through surrendering something. So whether this is like walking away from someone, whether this is, internal changes, but they really do feel like you're in a better place now because you were able to let go of something. And finally, we have flood, express the ocean of your emotion. So this person assumes that you are someone who's very emotionally available. They assume that you will be emotionally available to them. So they assume that you're just someone who has a lot of compassion. So that could be a reason why, especially if there was a falling out between you and this person, that could be why they still feel as though you will still be emotionally available to them. Do you have more from this card? They do assume that you're a quite emotional person as well. Is that what you have? Yeah, so this person really does assume that they will be able to make their way back into your life at some point. Do you have more? So they all good. Hmm. Yeah, but that is all I have. I hope it could resonate, make sense. But I'm wishing you all the best, okay? Take care. Hey, welcome to your reading. If you have chosen the third group, this here quotes crystal, then this reading is for you. Start off with your tarot cards. So the person on your mind, what assumptions have they made about you? So we have the Tower reversed, Knight of Swords upright. So what assumptions have they made about you? Oh, I split the deck in half and the King of Wands and the Emperor card came out. That's like so random. Anyways, I don't know. So what assumptions have they made about you? Alright, so it feels like this person has made the assumption that your life is a bit upside down at the moment in their perspective. They could also have the belief that you will turn their life upside down as well. They feel... Wait, hold on. Yeah. And they do feel like this would be a bad thing, They feel like you aren't on the right path again in their perspective, and they could be worried for you. They also assume that you're struggling to find the right path for yourself. They feel as though you're caught up in a messy situation, but they don't assume that it's your fault. Um, for some of you, they could assume that it's related to your family, like the reason why you're caught up in a messy situation. For some of you, they may even feel like it's because of them, the reason why that you're caught up in a messy situation. But they assume that you don't want to change. This could be in terms of learning a lesson, or that you don't want things to change between the two of you. Like they assume almost that you like or that you're comfortable with toxic situations. Not that you're a toxic person. They don't feel like you are. It just feels like, circumstances, upbringing kind of make certain situations kind of comfortable, and they yeah, they assume that you could be comfortable with those type of situations. Maybe those type of situations have been the norm for you. They do assume that you fear growth and you fear change in your personal life. They also assume that you're really hard on yourself, and they also feel as though you're almost living in fear. For some of you, they assume that you're struggling with your health. They also feel like you're fighting with them or that you want to fight with them. They kind of assume that you don't trust them either. And they assume that you're a very fiery and outspoken person. But they really do assume that this gets you in trouble, or it can get you in trouble, or it does get you in trouble from time to time. But for whatever reason, this person really does assume that you want to ruin or disrupt their life in some way. They feel like you can be, or that you are, complicated or problematic in some way. But they really do have this assumption that you want to see them fail, or a certain aspect of their life that you want to see them fail in. And they assume that you don't have confidence in yourself. And I don't know who you're asking about for some of you here, but it feels like this person that you're asking about, they really do feel as though you hate them. And, they assume that I don't know. Wait, hold on, let me check. Do they assume? So for some of you here, this person does assume that you can be too focused on them or other people at times. And they feel like you need to turn your focus towards yourself and making important changes in your own life. And this person, they feel like you could be a great communicator. Like they feel like you're a very skilled communicator. But maybe they feel like right now that you're not really using that skill, that gift you have of communicating in the best way. They also assume that you're very assertive and direct, and that you are, or that you have been, very brave. They assume that you're so smart as well, so intelligent. So this person also feels that you're kind of keeping tabs on them and that you're really focused on them. They do assume that you're impatient, or that you can be impatient. For some of you, they do assume that you are too impatient in regards to them. They assume that you want to be saved. They assume that you want someone to be your hero. But this person looks at you and they feel like you have everything to be your own hero. Like this person really feels like if you're waiting for someone else to save you, like to stop and to save yourself. They feel like you have the power, the bravery, the strength and the conviction to do it as well. So this person either assumes that you're being oppressed or that you're trying to oppress them. It could be both, actually, for some of you. They also assume that you have a sharp tongue. And they assume that you could be independent, or that you're going through life or, certain troubles alone. So we have messy. So for some of you, this feels like a past energy. So the earlier messages that were coming out about messy drama, toxic situations, they could actually feel like you're putting this behind you or you're trying to leave those situations behind you. So take what resonates. But this person does feel like you are trying to not be so messy in some way, or maybe argumentative, or maybe just kind of talking in a way or communicating in a way that can potentially attract drama. Like they could feel like you are making changes for the better. For some of you, though, this is just a hope that they have. We also have sarcastic. So yeah, this person assumes you're sarcastic, or maybe the last time you spoke to them or when you said something to them, they assumed you were being sarcastic. This does feel like it was about something that you said to them. Yeah, they do assume that you are a bit disingenuous sometimes. For some of you, this could be when you compliment them or compliment other people. They could feel like it's not all the way genuine, or that you're being a bit sarcastic sometimes. But wait, hold on. For some of you, they could just assume that you just have a sarcastic sense of humor, you know? Oh, we have timid as well. So this person really does assume that you could be in a situation where either someone or, just the situation in general is making you feel timid or fearful in some way. So we also have forceful. So this person does assume that you're too forceful. I don't know whether this is in general. It could be in general, but for the majority, it feels like they assume you're too forceful when it comes to them, or that you would be too forceful or controlling. This does feel like it is specifically related to them, though. And we also have worried. Yeah, like this person assumes that you're in a really worried kind of energy, a little bit fearful, unfortunately. I hope not. I hope this is just an assumption, you know? So we also have life-changing epiphany or experience. It's a time of big and blessed change for you, and God is supporting you each step of the way. So this person assumes that you're being looked after and supported by your higher powers. It could be other people in your life as well. This person also could assume, this is not for everyone, but they could assume that you've had an epiphany about them, or that you've had some type of clarity about them. We also have purification and detoxification. It's time to release physical and energetic toxins from your life. Yeah, so this person really does feel like you need to work or focus on purifying your life, detoxifying your life, whether this is, internal, whether this is, people in your life, whether it's your environment, or maybe even cleaning your home. I don't know. But this person does assume that you need to go through these, this release, this release of, harmful things or, things that could be potentially harmful. For some of you, this is referring to the people around you. We also have guide. So this person also assumes that you need guidance, that you need someone's advice, not necessarily theirs, but they really do hope you find that guidance. Like King of Pentacles came out, so they could feel like you need, let me see. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be a masculine, but they feel like you do need that, that guidance, from someone who you can respect, from someone who is dependable, from someone who's secure, who's knowledgeable, who's wise, and who gives a shit about you. Like this person feels like you need that in your life. And we also have silence in the mind. Let silence guide you to your inner peace. So for some of you, it feels like, depending on who you're asking about, but it feels like this person wants to help you. Like they want to be able to support you, but they feel like um, they just feel like you would disrupt their inner peace, or they assume that you would disrupt the peace in that they have in their life. And especially if this person that you're asking about worked really hard to establish that peace, they could just be worried that you could disrupt the balance. But it feels like a part of them really does want to be there for you, but they're just worried about themselves as well. But anyways, that is all I have for this group. I do hope it could make sense, be helpful, but I'm wishing you all the best, all right? Take care.